Hey everybody, I am Marty Hoffman with Bird's Eye Aerial Drones, and we are at the bench today with the Mavic 3 as promised. We did an unboxing last week. Very excited about this drone. So we're going to take a little bit of time, not too much. We're not going to do a full extensive review to talk about every single little new feature and specs and all that. We got 5 features with this Mavic 3 that we're going to talk about today that really get us excited. So stay tuned, and here we go. You've got 2 options right now with the Mavic 3. We've currently got the Fly More combo, and there is also the Cine combo. And the Cine combo has 3 things that set it apart. Everything else is for the most part the same. The actual sensors are the same. The flight times are going to be the same. But what you're going to get with the Cines, you're going to get 1 terabyte of internal storage, which, if you're like me, you've gotten out to the field before and you've gone to fly and you forgot your little micro SD card. Now, the Fly More bundle, that's got your standard 8 gigabytes. Now, that might help you if you did forget your card for a few shots, but we all know these drones eat up files pretty quick. So that 1 terabyte is a pretty cool option. Second thing that you're gonna get with the Cine version of this drone, the option of shooting in ProRes. So when you're working with cinematic footage, gives you a lot more latitude in the edit for color grading. Third option that you get is the smart controller. That's definitely a plus. As I mentioned, we have the Fly More bundle. The controller you get is the same controller that you would get with the Mavic Air 2. Another thing to keep in mind is the size overall form factor of this is actually pretty darn close to the Mavic 2 Pro. Something else worth noting, no longer will you be using the DJI Go 4 app. On the Mavic 3, you will be using the DJI Fly app. A little bit different of an interface, definitely worth spending some time getting to know the menu, finding out where all of your options are, where all the buttons are to make all your changes. It's a little bit of a departure switching to a new app. First feature we want to talk about that is pretty exciting is the resolution and frame rate options on the Mavic 3. You now have 5.1K resolution, and you can crank that as high as 50 frames per second. You've also got 4K at 120 frames per second, and aside from 4K 120, you've also got 1080 at 200 frames per second. Second feature that we are excited about with the Mavic 3 is the flight time. Now, DJI boasts a potential of 46 minutes of flight time, which, let's be honest, I tend to be a little jaded. I don't usually trust those numbers. If I'm reading the specs from a manufacturer, I'm gonna go ahead and shave 5 minutes right off the top. Even if we're doing that and we're being conservative, if we're getting 35 to 40 minutes of flight time with this, that is pretty amazing. Cinematically, you're gonna be able to slow down, take your time composing your shots, and from a utility standpoint, if we're using this for doing inspections, obviously you're going to spend a lot more time in the air, be able to get more inspections done, and be more efficient about it. Third feature that we are very impressed with the Mavic 3 is, of course, a micro 4/3 sensor. That is almost twice the size of the Mavic 2 Pro. What does that give you? Obviously, it gives you higher resolution, gives you the ability to have a lot more latitude in your post-production and in your color grading. Also gives you a lot better options for low light or even shooting at night. And that micro 4/3 sensor is a big deal. Fourth feature of the Mavic 3 that makes us really excited is the second sensor on this gimbal. It is a Zoom 7X lens. That means its focal length equivalent is 161 millimeters. Now, that is not a digital zoom, that is an optical focal length, and that is pretty incredible, especially if you're going to be considering using this for utility work, power line inspections, anything like that. That's a pretty big game changer, in my opinion. In our opinion, let's be honest, it's a big deal. Fifth and final feature we want to talk about with the Mavic 3 is the obstacle avoidance. The fact that you now have omnidirectional, that is, you've got sensors on the bottom, you've got sensors on the back, you've got sensors on the side and sensors on the front. Essentially, this drone is keeping an eye on everything around you. So what's also really cool about the obstacle avoidance is the fact that you're now getting on your monitor a live data feed of where that drone is sensing those objects. And you can see a yellow circle will start to appear, and if you're getting too close on either top, bottom, left, or right, it will start to turn red, basically alerting you, hey, you're getting really close to this on the right side. This is a feature that initially rolled out with the M300 that a lot of pilots were very excited about because it gives you much better situational awareness. So that's going to wrap it up for this video review of the Mavic 3. Now, if you guys are at all curious about the offerings or the services that Bird's Eye Aerial Drones provides, please hit up our website at bead.global. Always good to have you with us. Look forward to seeing you guys soon on the next one.